think I know what it is. Yes, there it is. Okay, now we got sound. All right. Okay, got sound now. Everybody should be able to hear me. Who we got in here? Mike Roach, how you doing? Hugh Asgard, how are you, my friend? Thomas O'Sullivan, hello. Austin Powers and Mason, God, glad you guys showed up. This is really an impromptu thing, and of course, I had the settings. For those of you OBS guys who know how we like to punish ourselves with technology, I had all of the settings set up for the Hangouts stream, and in the Hangout stream, I got to turn the microphone off in OBS because it echoes. So I had all of the settings on all the different scenes turned off, and of course, nobody could hear me. So figured that one out, and if I just have to make sure if I change scenes that I do have the microphone turned on. Steve Miller, hello, how are you? How are you, my friend? I already said hi to you, I guess. Okay, so what I'm going to do today, and I thought that it would be entertaining for everybody, and I'm not too proud to do it, but as you know, I've been talking about going to the dark side and start flying FPV, because I flew RC for 50 some years, and I flew everything RC. I flew RC jets, I flew RC helicopters, airplanes, but not quadcopters. And all these things fly so differently. You know, the difference between flying an RC airplane and an RC helicopter is night and day. And it seems that the FPV quads are kind of like the worst of both of those worlds put together. Now, I think that a problem that I might say, yeah, Austin, come to the dark side. I'm trying. I think that one of the problems that I'll have with the quadcopters is 50 years of muscle memory and reflex in flying all these other RC airplanes, because what I would do instinctively might get more in the way than if I'd never done anything before and was starting to learn from scratch. So it may be that it isn't a help to me. It may actually be a big hindrance for me to try to fly FPV quads. But I'm bound and determined. I got myself a FR Sky Tyrannus Q7S transmitter, and I ordered a Tyro 99 from Banggood, which is on a slow boat from China somewhere on its way. And I got a pair of the Viper FX2 goggles so I can wear them with my glasses. And then when I started watching videos about building this particular quad, it comes in a kit, but it's really a no-brainer build. It's like a half hour. They said the camera that comes with it is really garbage, and you know, the last thing in the world I need to do is handicap myself with something to start right out with. And so I went and ordered a little run cam micro and a few other little pieces and bits and parts. But I think I got everything going. Now, Austin says Tyro 99 will be a tight build. I don't know what you mean by tight, Austin. Explain that to me. That might be FPV lingo, but I'm not in the FPV world yet. You want to talk about Mavic 2s? I can talk all day. So yeah, I explain that to me if you could. And also for you guys, I really hadn't planned on bringing anybody into this thing, because I'm going to be just doing some flying here and crashing most likely. And so I'm reading the chat. So I'm going to try to keep up with the chat, but I'll probably get a little preoccupied. And if any time during this it gets somewhat X-rated in my my commentary about what's going on, you'll have to pardon me. But I did try it. I will proffer this one disclaimer, and that is that I did sit down with the simulator last night for about 30 minutes, just so I made sure that I could work it. But that's it. So you're looking at a guy that has 30 minutes simulator experience in FPV flying to his name, and today we're gonna fly and then talk a little bit, and any advice that you guys might give, feel free to throw it in the chat, because I think what I'm going to do is actually plan a session like this where I can bring in a couple of really accomplished FPV flyers and have them in the panel, so that I can actually hear them tell me, give me some pointers, and act kind of like an instructor. Now, Austin says, very little room for equipment. You may have to install your receiver. Yeah, I saw that, Austin, on most of the builds, and I've got just one of those little Free Sky little receivers that what they did was they just took some double sticky tape and stuck it right down on the top, and that's probably going to suffice. I did replace the hey D1, how are you, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. I did replace the camera though with a better camera, one of those little run cam micro things, and of course I had to order a little cage for that so it'll fit, because the thing is smaller than what everybody in the video said was a piece of junk, that camera that came with this Tyro 99. But for 99 bucks, I mean, for 99 bucks, if it crashes and burns, it's not really a huge deal. So let's see here. I'm itching to get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to transition you guys over, so you don't have to look at me, to the Velocidrone simulator is what I'm using. I'm going to be facing away from the microphone, so I hope you should still be able to hear me. And down in the lower right-hand corner, I've got a little webcam that I'm going to kind of point at my transmitter wherever it finally sets in my lap, and we're going to go and try to fly, and then I'll do a few short flights, and I'll get back to the chat and see if I can get any pointers, or if I'm doing anything absolutely dramatically wrong. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do, I've already set up the options on here, and on the quad what I've done is I've given myself a 25-degree camera angle, because I mean, everybody says start out with 5 degrees and all that, but I mean, if I'm going to start, I want to start and fly it like it's going to fly. I know I'm not going to be running through hoops and everything yet, but and 120-degree field of view. The rest of these things, I think I need to turn this prop size down a little. Okay, my computer is running OBS. It's running the flight simulator, and if the whole thing goes dark sometime during this, you'll know that the whole thing blew up, and I'm running for a fire extinguisher. So we'll see how that goes. So the next thing we want to do is we want to go into single player, and I picked this quad based on Mr. Steele's recommendation, something called Lil Bastard. So we got Lil Bastard as the quad I'm going to be flying, and I'm going to stick with countryside. Nice, hopefully wide open field where I can fly, and we'll select that as the scenery. Okay, so now this thing is going to do that, and I'm going to try to position this camera so that you guys can see my my transmitter sticks. Let's see, how's this going to work? If I hold the transmitter down in my lap here and point this down, bear with me and I'll try to get it. Okay, almost. How's that? Okay. Everybody with me? Here we go. I'll get tangled up in the headphone cords here. No, that's still too low. Let's move it up just a little bit there. Okay. Notice I'm pinching. So far, so good. Okay. Through the goalposts. Well, so far it feels a lot like an airplane. Combination of an airplane and a helicopter. Let's fly. Let's see if I can fly through some trees here. Uh-oh. Ah! Oh, that was good. It didn't crash. So I have a simulator here that flies through trees, guys. Cool. Now that's nice. Now I'm going backwards. Up there it goes. All right. First crash. Back to square one. I think the faster you go, the better with this. Whoa, that was good. Well, this is different, I'll tell you that. I think I just hit the ground again. Start over. Okay, guys. It's different. It's definitely a little bit different. Now, did any of you guys hear the motor sounds? Was it coming through? Because I don't know if I actually if the sounds of the simulator are working. Hey, okay, Asgard says not for me. So let me go back into my sound settings and make sure that there's a setting in here that lets you pick the apps what the sound where from each app goes. So there's sound, and we go down here to app volume and device preferences, and we go down here to the flight simulator, Velocidrone. And in Velocidrone, I'm going to tell it to send it here. Did that do it? Okay. So let's try it again here and tell me if you hear the sound now. So we're going to go back to the simulator, and now tell me again if you hear the sound. Okay. Well, now I have, I have to click on the window there so that my controller controls it. There we go. Well, that was close. I can see that you definitely need to coordinate the rudder and the roll, and it all depends on the speed you're going and the angle you're going. Thing says I'm going 40 miles an hour now. All right, let's fly through some trees here. Let's see if we can. think I'm in a different field here. I don't see all... Oh, there's a... Oh, those are trees coming up there. And rocks. Whoa. Backwards. Hey, I was going backwards. Okay, let's see how we doing. Let me check. Let me catch up on the... Take a breath here. You know, it's interesting. I'm fighting. I'm definitely fighting. I'm finding myself fighting the urge that when I bank over to make a turn, to pull back on the stick. I mean, that's something I've been doing for 50 plus years, is you bank and you pull back. And you don't do that with the quads, evidently, because you end up flying backwards, more like the helicopters. But even the helicopters seem like they have a lot more forward momentum than these things. So it's just going to, you know, you guys, a lot of you guys are FPV flyers, I'm sure, and you know what it's like to try to learn. And I don't know if this, like I said, if my flying experience is going to be a handicap where I have to relearn all this stuff. But I'm going to do it. Austin says quads are physics machines, not flying machines. Well, that's that's true. It's like the old definition of a helicopter that was 100,000 moving parts flying in close formation. So, did you guys hear the? Oh, you heard the sound on the simulator that time. Good, good, because that makes a lot of. That makes a lot of difference. Somebody's texting me. No. Okay. So let me look over the chat here and see if anybody's giving me some great words of wisdom. Doing okay. Good to see you. D1. Yeah, D1. I haven't seen you around in quite a while. The Velocidrone is a good sim, and of course, I got the idea from Mr. Steele. I watched one of his videos about, I think it was his lesson number 2 in starting out. Of course, the settings that he put on for himself in that thing, I tried them yesterday, and they were a little touchier than I like, and maybe they'd be okay for him. But as I get a little better at it, I'll tighten them up a little bit. Pretty cool. Just about to say hello. Mike Sammy. Hey, Mike, how you doing if you're still here? Michael Bainey, do a Matty flip. Michael, explain to me what a Matty flip is, and I will try to do one. Because the nice thing about simulators, you can crash and crash and crash and start over. You don't have to fix anything. Tools stay in the tool shop. So I'm going to wait until I find out what a Matty flip is. Like I say, I don't know any of the. Now I'm wanting to fly my drone, but it's snow. Mike, sorry. Hello. See you guys later. Okay, Mike. Hey, oh, you're having a snowstorm up there in Philly. I think Philly Mike is sleeping right now. He's been burning the candle at both ends. He was on all day yesterday on somebody's live streams, and on last night with Roger, and then he was out at in the middle of the night out doing live streams, and first thing this morning doing live streams, and I got to slow down a little sometime. I'm still looking for what a Matty flip is. It's the way the controls reverse. Oh, great. Okay. All right. I'm not doing that yet, but I am gonna fly a little more. So don't laugh. Wait until you try a helicopter. Oh, D1. That's my problem. I flew RC helicopters with no GPS for years and years and years and years and years, and 3D helicopters too, with tic-tocs and inverted flight and all that stuff. And I think it's hurting me here. I think I have to unlearn some of the differences between the helicopter and the way that the quads fly. But I don't plan on flying RC helicopters anymore, so I'm going to stick with these things. And I thought maybe you guys would enjoy watching a rank beginner at this come on and play around. And I don't care if you laugh at me. I'm going to crash plenty, but actually I'm amazed I'm keeping it in the air as long as I am. So I'm going to go back and fly a little bit more, and I'm going to do a couple of rolls and flips and split S's and things, because those are easy to do once you're high up in the air. The tough part for me is flying down around like it was a race course. That's where I really need to work at it. So let's see here. Let's go back to this and back to this, and now okay, we are back, and I will take one last look at the chat. Baduga, how you doing, my friend? Baduga FPV. So here we go. Here we go. I'm going to try to go a little fast. Whoops, a little bounce there. Another bounce. Hey, hey. I got to think more about flying and less about the live stream here. Yeah, the rolls are easy. Oh, tree. Look out. Now this is very relaxing here. Oops, I've gone too far. I hate that this thing, they actually simulate the being out of range like that. Now let's see if I can land it. Oops. Ah, okay. Oh. I guess the little branches don't get you on the simulator, like the real life branches do. And the rocks, they get you, I'll bet. Ah, all right, back to the course again. Okay. Yeah, this is where I need to work. I end up going backwards. You guys that are real FPV flyers are probably either laughing your ass off or crying very loudly right now. You gotta start somewhere, I guess. It's great fun, though. Now, I don't know about the about how these simulators really equate to what the real thing is. I know that in the RC helicopters, the simulators are okay to a point, but in a lot of areas, they're nothing like the real thing. Whoa. That's what gets me. I keep pulling back when I want to make a sharp turn, because that's what you do. Oh, trees. I must have a lot of branches tangled up in my props right now. Can you see the transmitter here in the picture? I don't know if you guys could. Yeah, there you go. I got it now. Going backwards again. See, that's why I have the tendency to pull back in the turns. And I can't do that. Oh, a road. There you go. Okay, this is fun. Whoops. Watch out for the tree. And the fence. Hey, all right. Steer with both sticks, Michael Bainey says. Yeah, I am. I am steering with both sticks to a certain extent, but I keep pulling back in the turns, and that's a habit that's going to be hard to break. It's going to be hard to break. Oh, that was good. All right. And I got the thing set, I think, to 25-degree camera angle, which I don't know how smart that is for a beginner, but I want it to try to be as realistic as I can make it. Uh-oh, here we go. No, sideways. Look out, where is that thing again? I guess it just takes a lot of practice. Oh. Do quads bounce? Okay. All right. So what do we got going on here? Let me check up on the chat. Michael Bainey says the real thing is easier and funner. I hope so. Who's out there? Baduga leaving us. I didn't really plan on this. Oh, D1. Hey, listen, thanks a lot, my friend. I hope this would be fun. I think it'd be more fun when I bring a little panel in. I had to test the limits of what my computer's able to handle here, because that simulator, it eats up computer power by itself, and then throw OBS on top of it, and then if I have a Hangouts window going at the same time, it would be very very interesting to see just exactly whether the thing smokes or not. So, hey, D1, good to see you. Thanks for stopping in, my friend. I appreciate that. And Mason says, did better than I could. Well, how do you know how good you could do, Mason? I got a lot of unlearning to do. I've learned that much. I watch these guys, these hotshot pilots, and the stuff they fly under and around and through, and I don't know if I'll ever get to that level, because I'm I'm not a kid, and that's another thing that that kind of I'm older, you know, and they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks, and I'll tell you that when it comes to developing new reflexes and new skills, it definitely does slow down. It definitely does slow down when you get older. It's not like these kids today. They pop out of the chute with a cell phone in one hand and a game controller in the other, and you know, in their formative years they learn, and I even noticed that in the RC community, when some of these kids would start flying at a very young age, and by the time they were 12 or 13, they were world-class championship material. Unfortunately, when I was 12 or 13, they didn't have that stuff. You'll get it. Austin says you'll get it there. I started flying quads at 58. Started RC. Okay, Austin, did you have the same problem that I'm finding, unlearning some of the RC part of it? Because I'm 72 years old now, so you know, I don't know. But I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to, you know, start out with relatively inexpensive quads, and my goal is going to just be throw on the goggles and fly around and land safely. I don't know if I don't know if I ever want to do any of this wild stuff. Although the tendency is kind of there when I see the trees off in the distance on the simulator. There's something in me that just says, basically, head to the trees. I may not feel the same way when it's a real quad, but with the simulator, it's like that. Mason. Oh, Mason, you're an old dog like me. I'm like you, flown RC planes, helicopters, and drones, but doing FPV and race drones just blows my mind that I'm 64. Do you? So Mason, you actually are racing the FPV stuff? You're fly high, learn high, then bring it closer to the ground as you get better. Yeah, that's always good advice, Michael. always good advice. Asgard, you still around in here? Because you're flying. I know you're starting to get into this, and I know that Mark with Centroid is starting to get in. And I don't know what is it about all us guys that drive the camera drones around that we all seem to get the bug to go to the dark side here. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Asgard. Well, I'm right there with you now, my friend. So, you know, I got the idea to do this from you doing games on a live stream. That's where I got the idea. I said, you know, it'd be kind of fun to, you know, I'm sitting here making a fool of myself with this simulator. It'd be fun to let to just throw it up live and let everybody talk. Hugh, you want to? Well, now I was going to ask you to Skype in, but I don't have any of that. I don't have any of that ready to go. So I'm going to get back and I'm going to fly another couple minutes here. So let me put the FPV back up there and get back over to that. And Night Train, hey, how you doing, my friend? You started flying at 45, but you never did the planes. Oh, okay, okay. Well, you know, it's all your fault, all you guys. I've been watching. I watch all your videos with this FPV stuff, and you know, I get hooked. I get hooked on it. So let me move the camera around here so you can see my radio again. Is that actually? Can you? Let's get this. Okay, right there. Good. Here we go. Try to keep it a little lower to the ground this time and work on finessing that throttle a little bit. Oh, close. So close. I guess it takes a lot of practice. Oh, trees. I see trees again. And rocks. Oh! Ah. Backwards, I'm going backwards again. Four-point rolls. Can you do four-point rolls with these things? Almost. See, this is the kind of stuff I used to do with my jets. Big split S's, four-point rolls, knife edges, all that cool stuff. I'm sure you can do all that with these. You just have to learn the physics of it. I think it's much easier to fly when you're going faster. What happened to my race course? I seem to have lost it. Oh, there's a little pathway between the trees down there. Cool. There's the road. Still a little jerky on those sticks. Ah, back to my course. I'm going to fly through one of these hoops if it kills me. Ah, missed it. Up, 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 up. No! Ah, so close. Oh, my God. That's as close as I ever got so far. Oh, man. All right. Take a little break from that. Let me catch up on the night train. It says it's addictive. You think? Do you think? Hi, Brent. Brent, how you doing, my friend? Brent says, break out your wallet. I like that. Oh, drone pool. Hey, how you doing? How you doing? I'm just at the beginning stages of acro, but at the age of 55, I wonder if I'll be able to really grasp it. Well, listen, man, I'll put up the challenge to all you guys. I'm 72 friggin' years old. What does the everyday dad says? If I can figure it out, you can figure it out. So I expect everybody to be giving it the old college try like I am, because I mean, I'm not going to let the young kids outdo me. I'm not going to race them either, but I think the simulator is probably the way to go. I think that even though it may not be as realistic, you still, I think, can get the basics down on it. And for 20 bucks, I mean, this Velocidrone simulator was $20, for God's sakes. You know, for 20 bucks, it's really something. The manual sucks, and there's a million settings in there that if you're not an FPV guy, you have no idea what any of those things actually mean. But there's enough YouTube videos out there to guide us. I saw something on here. Austin says, think throttle for altitude, correct. Pitch for speed, correct. Yaw for turning. Ailerons for leveling. One more thing, when inverted, lower the throttle or you'll be sucking yourself into the ground. That's true, Austin, and that's exactly those very same things apply for helicopters the same way. They apply exactly the same for helicopters. Your throttle stick on the left side actually controls both motor speed and collective pitch, but the end result of that is it gives you more or less upward thrust. The right stick, roll and pitch, just basically controls the pitch of the rotor blades and the roll of the rotor blades and the pitch of the rotor blades. And the same thing if you're flying forward in a helicopter and you give it a left control, you'll just tilt the helicopter to the left, but you won't turn it. And that, I notice, is similar to the quad. So in a helicopter, your yaw stick on the left hand, you basically fly the tail. And with your left stick, you're continually pushing the tail around, so it points in the direction you want the helicopter to go. And then when you get all that around, you got to level up. If you don't level up, your helicopter will stay banked over. So just like the quad, you got to push it back level again. And only without flying FPV and helicopters sometimes being hard to see whether it's come and gone or been there. That's a little it makes it a little more difficult. And I think if I had to, it's like trying to fly these quads line of sight. They're small. You don't know where the front or the back is unless you got all kinds of colors and lights on them. And I can imagine they'd be very difficult. But at least when you're flying FPV, you still have that one point of view, and you don't have to worry about whether it's coming or gone. You're basically inside of it, and Yeah, Brent says he's 52 and I suck, but it's a nice change from the Phantom and lots of fun. Well, it's a whole different thing. Flying these in my opinion, flying these camera drones is not really, you're not really flying, you're directing them. You're pointing them and you're changing direction. But at no time when you're flying any of these drones do you say to yourself, you know, if I move the stick just a little bit the wrong way, this thing's going to flip over and crash and burn. You know, that's makes it much more relaxing and suited to photography. I know that the Mavic Pro, and I don't know if the Mavic 2 has it, because I never used it on the Mavic Pro anyway, but they had what they called an FPV mode. And if you put it in FPV mode, you got it gone, and then it held the forward speed when you put it in. When you'd hit the C1 button, and it would put it, I think, and it put it into FPV mode. And then when you made your turns, it actually showed the whole thing banking like this, like the simulator does, and it gave you the feeling. And you know, I had bought a pair of goggles and fully intended to do that with the old Mavic, and then the Mavic 2 came along, and that just kind of went by the wayside. So I guess in a way I've been looking towards getting into the FPV flying. And well, thank you, Mike Roche. I appreciate that. I don't know who I can't be impressing FPV guys very much, but I appreciate that. I'm going to go and fly some more. Okay, here we go again. So, fly a little, calm down a little, fly a little more, calm down a little. Let's try some different scenery. You know, that'd be fun. So let's see, how do I get out of here? I go hit this. Yes, I want to leave. And I want to go here and select that model. And then, I think this was kind of fun. This coastal, like factories and things. Let's go and fly on that one a little bit and see what, so it doesn't get too boring for everybody. Jewish Redneck Preppers, how are you, my friend? Shalom. Good to see you. Oh, this is promising. Here we go. Okay. Can you see the radio? No, you see my legs. Let's, oh, what happened to my camera? It locked up. Oh, that's no fun. Hold on a minute. My webcam quit for some reason. Well, that's no good. I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to get it out of the scene then. So if you give me 1 second, we will disappear that. And here we go. Okay, now. Oh, this thing's got all kinds of shit to fly through, doesn't it? Oh, hey, EBR, FPV, how you doing, man? The old guy is trying to go to the dark side here. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. There you go. If I don't click on the simulator window with the mouse, then it's not active. There we go. Okay, so let's fly down this way a little bit and see what's here. This looks like a dead end over here. Oh, this, I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna like this. This thing's got all kinds of things to fly through and around. Up on a bus, train, whatever it was. Oh, this is much more fun than that open field. Okay. All right. Oh, splash one. Oh, now this is cool. Look at this. Uh-oh, uh-oh. Oh, shit. All right, try that again. I got excited by the hoops here. Oh, right, and through a hoop. Yes, sir. Somebody tell me where to go sign up for the World Championships. Ah, splashed again. You know, you bounce off the grass, but you don't bounce off the water. But that's okay. That's why it's a simulator. You see, you bounce off the ground, but you don't bounce off the You don't bounce off the water. Ah, oh, almost. I'm gonna get through that thing if it kills me, and it might. Oh, close. So close. Look, there's signs that say Fat Shark. How cool is that? I'm going backwards. Oh man, it's going to take a lot of practice. I can see that now. Go! I think in real life I would have wrecked the drone, but that's fun anyway. Oh, this is going to be my favorite scenery. There's all kinds of crap to fly through and around. I like this. Oh! Ouch. All right, one more time. Still a little afraid of the ground. There we go. Okay. Oh, man. You know, hey, Jim Wallace, how are you, man? Yeah. You know, the good thing about doing this, Jim, is you can wreck and wreck and wreck, and you get a mulligan every time. You get a do-over. Hey, just looking, how are you? Thanks for stopping by. I don't know if I'm boring. Am I boring the hell out of everybody with this? I'm having a lot of fun anyway. Oh, Mason, yeah, I'll tell you. Setting lower camera. Yeah, Austin, I thought about that. You know, I don't know if I really want. I want to learn how to fly it, and I don't want to learn how to. I mean, I tried that. I set the camera angle to 10 degrees, and it didn't look like any of the real flying. I guess maybe that's probably a better way to learn because you go slower. But you know, and we'll see what happens with the real drone. With the real, when I get the real one, I'll probably lower the camera angle. But I found that it seems that I'm doing better with it in the simulator with the camera angle higher, which forces me to keep the nose down more, because when I had the camera angle up, I found myself just sitting there floating and hovering and going backwards a lot more than I do with this. All right, I'm going to do it one more time, and then I think we're going to call it an afternoon here. So one more time. I'll go back to the simulator, and let's see how long I can keep it in the air. You know, they have these little dots that are supposed to be the track, and I can't even imagine following all those dots. Oh, this looks interesting. It's probably a quick way to lose your video signal. What's up here? Looks like a dead end. It is. Whoa, man, that was super. Holy mackerel. I got to work on gaining altitude in those sharp turns. Whoa, not the boat, not the boat, not the boat. Whoa, there it goes. Okay, well, I was a little ambitious there at the end, but I don't know. I almost feel like I've improved a little bit from the time I started today. What do you guys think? Yeah, Jim, I've got the Tyrannus, is it the X7S or the X7SS? It's the S model anyway. It's a little bit of an upgrade over the really base one, but it does come with a battery. It comes with a charging port in it. It's got the Hall effect sticks, and it feels really nice. I mean, I've had a lot of experience with RC transmitters, and this thing really has a good feel to it. So I'm pleased with that purchase. I want to turn it off now, so There we go. Well, that was interesting. I hope you guys enjoyed that as much as I did. And I think, like I said, the next time I do this, I think I'm going to pre-plan it so there'll be some advance notice and try to bring in a couple of good FPV pilots to act as teachers for me and instructors, and I'll be able to hear you talking to me while I'm flying. And I think that might not only be good for me, I know it'll be good for me, but it may be good for the rest of you old farts like me out there that want to play at this kid's game of going fast and through hoops and everything else with these FPV drones. I've always had the FPV bug, and 10-15 years ago, when there weren't quads yet, there was no such thing as a quad, we were taking these foam single engine pusher airplanes, and we were mounting these little small cameras and video transmitters to them. And we didn't have goggles back then. We set up a little TV set and hooked the receiver up to it, and we were flying FPV, and I always thought it was a fabulous thing to do. And now with these quads, I'm just really looking forward to being able to do that. Now I hope that I don't get so used to flying these quads that when I get a hold of my Mavic 2 again, you know, I don't have to fight the urge to keep banking right or left with it, because those things you basically only turn with the yaw control. But so anyway, anybody who tuned in and watched, I hope it was worthwhile. I hope you enjoyed this little session as much as I did, and as I always do, I will bring in a little music to end this with, and say goodbye to everybody. And as I always do at the end of every one of these streams, I basically give everybody the rest of the day off and go play with your drones. And guys, have yourself a great day. I'll see you around in the chat rooms. Thanks for stopping by. Take care. Am I still live? I'm still live.